I think now we are live and now everything should be working fine. Let me finally confirm. I think now. Okay, yeah, indeed. So we can start. Uh, so yeah, I've been live streaming today already a couple of times. So should I introduce myself once more after like 3 live streams I've done so far? So yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys that apparently I have a position right now on Binance Coin, and it entered at 1,200, around $66 so far in tiny profit, like 3.79%. And well, altcoins are trying. Oh, hold a second, I forgot to share this live stream on the official 79% on the official high tech group, which is very, very small. I mean, Telegram group, which is a very tiny community yet, but sometime soon probably it will become a sizable one. I have no doubt about it. And yeah. So remember, guys, share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so. And if you have any questions, then don't forget to write them in the live chat. And if not, then just say hi. That will do. That will just do just fine. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how market is doing. I mean, I was predicting, I was forecasting. That's one of options. One of options. I mean, overall market after something like this must be leaning bullish, the bullish side, because of how oversold everything is. I've seen a couple of quite good tweets today. I mean, the posts on X, and I'll be discussing them. Like for example, this one from Shanaka Anslem Pereira. I don't know where this guy from. Writing about money, tech, AI, science, physics. Pereira, it sounds Brazilian, but Shanaka Anslem, that sounds Persian maybe, or maybe I don't know, Indian or something like that. And nonetheless, I mean, this guy, well, he gives us his thoughts right here about what has happened and what are his conclusions. He basically points out to that Bitcoin did not suffer as much as other so-called blue chips on Binance. I think, is he talking about Binance now? He's just saying generally. Yeah, he's not mentioning Binance here. We will talk about Binance folks later on, because I just noticed a couple of really dumb people with quite a lot of following, bashing CZ, throwing punches at CZ for what happened. Meanwhile, CZ is an ex-CEO of Binance, and he was forbidden to sit at CEO chair like 2 years ago, but by DOJ that was his sentence 2 years ago. And so he has nothing to do with Binance anymore, and people blame him for what happened. I mean, how stupid you must be. like like when did you come to this space? And if you arrived recently, haven't you done like basic checks? I mean, especially with, sorry, but nowadays there is zero excuse for not knowing something. You just ask, I don't know, Grok or ChatGPT about who is who and what he or she does, and that stops you from making idiot of yourself. So So yeah, he basically, sums up, gives us a recap of what were the reductions with that in that liquidation event we saw on Friday, and Atom went to 0.01 cent. What? That low? My God, 99.97%. That was that on Binance? That wasn't on Binance. I don't think it was on Binance. I think maybe it was maybe on some other exchange. But yeah, basically, he's bashing like every single other coin than Bitcoin. And here in the comments, of course, some of people point out that he's not taking into the consideration later on everything recovered pretty much like 80% of whatever was dropped. But that was a little bit special event because all of the systems were down. People couldn't actually operate in that time from their panels, from their trading panels. I cannot tell you if API was working properly. I did not notice any hiccups on my side, at least. But on the other hand, my positions were not closing during that event because they got closed before, right? Because it was the market already had a downward momentum, so my positions got closed like I don't know hours before, and I was showing it. I was showing it on these live streams. I can even show you what. Once again, I can show you. There's no problem with that. Like we can, like I don't know, go over whatever coin, and this one is actually having uh, had giving me doubles, one double after another. Yeah, I already gave two doubles. No, okay, this one only closed late, but this one closed. So there was like literally a handful of coins that closed very late, closed a little bit too late, but still did not go that much. Like this one, how much was it? One. Okay, one was minus 18%. So for an altcoin is something to stomach. But yeah, the rest, as you see, this one was a lost trade, but it saved a lot of money. This one too a little bit. This one too, as you see. So yeah, pretty much every position. And this one is QKC. I don't know how this one behaved. Okay, this one closed long ago. This one closed. Yeah, I remember near that this one got caught up in that mess, but this one fortunately did not go that low minus 21%. Like literally a handful of coins got up in that situation, but 95 to 90, maybe even 7% exited before the biggest drop. This one, where did it exit? Oof, here. So long ago. This one exited here, this one exited here, this one exited here, this one exited here. So as you see, so yeah, of course, most of those exits were not giving me any profit, gave me a tiny loss, but it still saved me a lot of money. Right now, as you see, most of them I still don't have re-entries. That's because it's way too early after something like this. If you have enough of experience, you know it very well that you cannot be 100% sure the downward momentum has already faded. You must give it a little bit more time. In some cases we are already back to normal. Like for example with Binance Coin, and I already got re-entry, which is currently, I mean, the trade is currently in profit, so that's cool. But on Bitcoin, for example, it's still not there, right? The exit was here. I mean, this dip was quite shallow. anyway. But given how this market behaves right now, then probably tomorrow or maybe even the day after tomorrow, I'll get a re-entry. So it's kind of, yeah, I admit it's a little bit unfair to talk like I mean because in this post here if you if you did not check what is happening, how those coins, how their charts are looking right now, you could have an impression they went down and stayed there, and that's not true. Of course, they are not as liquid as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is by far the most liquid asset in this space. So, in the situation when market was literally blocked, when market participants were blocked uh, from posting their buy offers, there was not enough of liquidity for those coins to actually hold the price. So this is not a really fair comparison, to be honest. But what I like is that he gives us the list of how massive those dips were, right? Like Atom, I trade Atom, and I didn't know it felt that low, to be honest. But I had exit just like I just showed you right on the other coins, literally the same. Like just shortly before the market crashed, it like a couple of hours, several hours it exited. So, but Bitcoiners will like it, of course, right? I assume this guy is a Bitcoiner. If you don't have a trading system, as you see, you're not using a highly sophisticated trading algorithm for designed for these markets, then probably you're up for a very bad trip. And given how people are cheating for I don't know CZs, hanging CZs, or something like that, or I don't know stoning him, something among those lines. I guess not many people really use any tools that should be used. Somebody told me, somebody wrote me on my Telegram group that 1.6 million traders were completely liquidated on Friday. So that's a very impressive number. 1.6 million people. That amounts to quite an impressive, you know, number of money. And just like $10 billion liquidated, you know, not a small change. So yeah, another post. Okay, let me show you another post that I consider interested. But let me go over to my Telegram here because I posted it here, and I don't want you to see my private conversation. So that is why I switched the screen for a second. Okay, we're back here, and let's take a look at this one. What really happened on 10 10, 10, 25. Recap. Binance just reminded everyone who really runs this market. This crash wasn't about Trump tariffs or macro. That was noise. Yeah, of course it wasn't about that. I mean, but it helped. It helped a little bit, right? Because after Trump tweeted, after Trump tweeted about China tariffs, the traditional market dipped, and that of course affected Bitcoin market, and that of course affected the altcoin market. So it was that first domino. He literally, pushed the first domino. And by the way, so I think somebody wrote me something. No, not really. Just They like the comment. What? Okay, this is funny. All right, let me see. So, Hype Economist, he wrote about CZ as the one to be blamed for what has happened. Oh, okay. At least, oh, all right. All right. At least he, okay. I give him a little bit of credit because at least he posted a photo of CZ where when there is information that he's a former CEO. He's not the current CEO. So he says another tries to take out Hyperliquid by CZ. He's not, bro. He's not Binance CEO anymore. So what are you talking about? Billions of dollars lost, lives destroyed. Just don't use leverage. Don't trade on leverage. I keep repeating, you guys. You stay on futures market, this will keep happening. And this is not because of CZ, this is not because of anybody. This is because that market has inbuilt possibilities of very heavy manipulation. It's designed for that. It was created for that. So of course it will keep happening. So yeah, of course had to put, but I didn't see at the time when I was writing this response, I didn't see it. It was written here from a CEO. I'm a little bit ignorant sometimes. Sometimes I will take a look at something. I'll get hit up a little bit, and I will not see all of the details. And I think I'm not the only one guilty of something like this. It probably happens to you too from time to time. CZ is not a CEO of Binance anymore. You probably haven't noticed. So maybe he haven't, because maybe he just also took this photo from somewhere, copy pasted it, and didn't really read what was written here, and he himself just liked this comment, right? So that's probably his bot giving likes. That's very primitive to have a bot that just gives you likes and I don't know reposts. That's very primitive. I mean, I use AI for managing my account, but you can literally have a conversation with it if you engage in whatever it has commented or whatever it has posted. You can literally engage in conversation with it, and yeah, of course, it's not going to be as insightful about market as conversation with me because it's a little bit clueless. It has some, let's say, commands in the prompt how to respond in certain cases. But overall, at some point, of course, it will say something inaccurate. But nowadays, if you want to grow your account and you want to make sure you don't spend 10 years on becoming somewhat visible on social media, you have to use tools like the one I use, because everybody has used them. So you are literally trying to raise cars, you know, using your legs alone, right? So with walking, you are trying to beat cars in a race with just walking. That's impossible. You have to also acquire a car and a good one, and try to raise the rest, raise your opponents. So yeah, I'm defending Binance here. I'm defending CZ. CZ is the one that really does not deserve any backlash. I mean, he has done a really good job over the years. For example, here I commented as well. This Butcher guy. I mean, he's a huge account, and he keeps bashing CZ. He keeps blaming CZ for things that CZ has nothing to do with. That's why, when I see something like this, I cannot stand aside. I'm sorry. Hence my response. What are you, 15? And maybe he is, because I mean, the fashion in which he comments, I don't know. To me myself, it gives me an impression that he's either retarded or he's very immature. So, guys, if you have any questions or maybe any comments, or maybe I don't know, you you have read something that you think is interesting to share, then let me know. And of course, if not, then just tell me hi. That will do the job too. But let's go back. Let's go back to this one, right? The real story happened inside the books. One market maker you definitely know moved $700 million to Binance hours before the crash took. I mean, guys, transfer like that happen all the time around Binance. This is the biggest exchange in the world by a very far margin. Like, in order to gather the volume Binance alone has every 24 hours, you need to literally add up all of the next 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 exchanges from the top 10. Right? So that on its own, this is not really any kind of a proof for anything. Before the crash, 200 million of that was in BTC. Few noticed. Then, of course, few noticed because that happens all the time around Binance and their addresses. Then, as traditional markets bled, crypto started following, but something was off. The order books on Binance went hollow, so they went empty. No bids, no walls, just a free fall waiting to happen. No, there was volume. There was quite a lot of volume, so there had to be some bids. Volume on BTC candles, 23, 2K sold. That was 2,000 BTC, I suppose, not $2,000. On 23, but what time? So he's European, this guy, because he's using 24 hours clock, uh, not 12 hours. So I don't know what time is he talking about. Is it UTC? Probably. 23 2K sold at midnight, 12K. Even 1 minute candle had 1K BTC inside. Yeah, so I mean, so how it could have one BTC inside if there was no bids? There had to be bids. Was this organic? At if there was no bids, then there would be no volume on those 1 minute candles. Was this organic at 108K liquidation pressure hit terminal velocity? Binance own market makers stopped defending the price and pulled liquidity. I mean, market makers are not for defending the price. Market makers are for generating volume, incentivizing movement, not really defending the price. This is exactly why Atom went to 0.001. Oh, that's epic. That's absolutely epic. To be honest, I have no idea what Atom is about. What's the narrative of Atom? Is it like cross-chain, blockchain, like how they call it, um, like cross bridging, that kind, or multi-chain, something like that. Something among those lines. Actually, allow me to ask Grog, what Atom actually is. I don't remember. And I trade that coin. I mean, my system, they trade that coin. Atom is a native cryptocurrency token of Cosmos app. Yeah, that I remember. The flagship blockchain within the broader Cosmos ecosystem, and decentralized network designed to enable interoperability. I forgot that word, to be honest, which is a little bit shame because I'm a software developer and recently working on smart contracts for my meme coin. So yeah, I didn't shine. I haven't shined this time. Okay, but it doesn't make much sense what he's writing here. Okay, but let's analyze it further. But you know what? I actually switched off this live stream on my phone. And because of that, I will not see if anybody writes me here. Okay. And the worst part, traders couldn't even fight back. On every other exchange, you could close, hedge, or buy the dip manually. On Binance, buttons stopped working. Yeah, I don't think that was the blame of some of Binance blocking the users from doing it. It was probably the traffic was so overwhelming that the servers could not, serve the demand and execute commands. Stop orders froze, limit orders hung. Only liquidations were executed perfectly, but not in the way should have been executed. Think about it. Your position 50x cross, stop at -1%, market dumps 50, your stop never hits, your account gets nuked 25x over. And if you were mirrored across pairs, is game over. Yeah, but that's why you should never trade on leverage in any type of form, because every single exchange has in its rules, in its policies, that they do not guarantee stop loss to work at all times, because it's impossible to guarantee. Let me tell you, as a software developer, I can guarantee you myself that you will never be able to write an exchange that will give 100% 100% guarantee for stop losses working exactly as you mark them, to cut off your losses. It's literally, in certain scenarios, is impossible. It's literally impossible because of how order books work. On, for example, on liquidity pool, it's much easier. It's way easier, but still, you're highly dependent on what others do, and where are you in the queue? Let's say of buying back or selling off. Is highly dependent on that. And actually, order books specifically because of that order, let's say, are not able to guarantee you that your stop loss will work at for example, -1% if you set it that way. Because literally, I mean, there is the order of who's first, who's last. So I think, yeah, I think he just does not know. He just does not know about it, and that is why he think like, something was off. No, nothing was off. It was just a moment of very high heat. Arbitrage was amplified, selling where price still held, deepening the fall. Lending protocols liquidated positions, odds down 80%, and I think with 2x leverage or more, gone guaranteed. Just don't trade on leverage, and you will avoid this type of stories. And they will be happening. There will be. I mean, this one was of course the biggest in the altcoin history, and you will have to give it some time before it repeats. But in smaller scale, it will keep repeating. This was actually a black swan. This was a black swan event, if you haven't noticed. Hundreds of portfolios erased, some funds too. No one's admitting it publicly yet, but you can read it between the lines. The market just showed its real nature, unfair, manipulated, and merciless. Yeah, especially when you give yourself so small margin of error. Because the more multiplier you use on futures market, on leverage, the smaller window of error allowed to give to yourself. Only the strongest survive here, and sometimes even they can't handle it. Okay. Well, me and my systems handled it very well. If you're still here bleeding but alive, you've already passed a test most never recover from. Don't quit now, learn what actually moves price, not what influencers say. Does the next wave reward those who survive this one? Follow, we will fight together. Um, I don't know if he really knows what the hell has happened, or he just shorten it to agree. He quantized it to a degree in which it actually give me an impression that he he misses out on so many things. I'm not really sure which one is it. Oh yes, if you have any questions, of course, ask me in the live chat or just say hi. That's always nice too. Okay, let's go over maybe to my timeline. Let's see what people are talking about here. Maybe I'm going to find another interesting post that I can discuss here on this live stream. Another guy, Mando. This wasn't really to do with tariffs. Binance just screwed us. What the hell are you talking about, bro? Was the Friday crash a coordinated attack? The evidence points to something disturbing. That's YQ. The largest in blah, 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 liquidation is the largest in history, while initial reports blamed market panic following tariff announcement. A deeper. No, it was probably. I mean, the biggest blame lays on users, generally speaking, because Binance changed the rules. I think it was 6 p.m. UTC on Friday, and it took quite a few hours before all of it rolled out. And highly likely, most of Binance, Bybit, OKEx users, they saw a pop-up window with a wall of text. They just marked I agree and clicked OK without reading it. If they read it, then probably they would have realized that something should be changed. And that they didn't change anything, and they had to suffer the consequences. And that is why, yeah, if you're not willing to read the policy and the policy changes, then you should definitely not touch the futures market or anything that has whatever to do with leverage, because it's so easy to lose your money, as you see. Binance continue dumping millions of BNB and ETH right now. What is going on? That was 13 hours ago. No, I mean, how stupid you must be to say that Binance is dumping their token. I mean, that's just beyond belief. Like some of those guys, they give me impression they think there is literally like one guy on Binance and he's selling and buying from himself, and there's nobody else there. This is an exchange that has like what, 250 million users. So what? So there is nobody there that will be selling in situation like this. I mean, like literally, what are you, 15? Alejandro BTC. They liquidate the whole market and use your money to pump their own token. Binance never disappoints. Pure cinema. Those are market makers. So what they do is partially true, but is highly likely not Binance alone, maybe partially Binance, because to my knowledge, exchanges also trade on their own field. They also they also play in their own garden, but highly likely they weren't alone in it. That kind of, let's say, setups, that kind of scenarios are usually played out by big market makers. And what they do, they, of course, before they are planning to suppress the market, they open large shorts. They suppress the market with large shorts. They earn multiple time that what they lose dumping the asset. On top of that, when there is a cascade of liquidations, cascade of stop losses, they buy it all up at a certain price that is very very low. They actually stop the market from falling any further, and then the remaining low supply usually does the job, and whatever buying pressure makes the price floating up. And if that does not help, then they use the money they just earned on the futures market with leverage that's usually multiple times that what they just dumped. So of course even if they didn't have it before, then after that they acquired um, the strength, the capital size to pump a given market where it was exercised by a factor of few dozens most of the time. So yeah, that's why right now, after within a few days, we should expect huge pumps across the board, much greater than those that we are already seeing, because all of this is actually just a recovery. Those are not pumps yet. Those are just recoveries from the dump, and we are about to see the pumps, right? And they will be big, right? The result of SNX. If this one impresses you, then wait for later this. I mean, yeah, it's Monday already. Late for later this week. Wait for Thursday for Friday. That will show you. And by the way, SNX is one of the coins that did not close. My systems did not close it. And funny enough, it's actually right now in a profit. And I never interfere in this algorithm. I always leave it alone. I let it do whatever it decides to do. And to be honest, I was pissed it didn't close this position. But now I'm in profit, so I'm like, okay, you showed me once more that you know better. So that's funny. That's funny. And I wonder how this one looks on greater time frames. Now it gives me curiosity. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of room to run up. Cool. Okay, let's take a look how Bitcoin has closed on the weekly, right? Because it literally closed an hour ago. Just 1 hour ago it closed. By the way, if you guys have any questions, because there's 6 people watching now. If you guys have any questions, naturally ask them in the live chat. How is the connection going? Yeah, it's actually quite stable. The first time I tried to live stream, I don't know what the hell was going on, but the bitrate was very, very low. So when we look at this weekly candle close, the good news is that overall, on average, price action this last week that has closed just 1 hour ago was higher than the average from the week prior to that. So on Heikin Ashi, for example, on Heikin Ashi candle, so when you switch over to Heikin Ashi candle, it's going to be green. Yeah, you see, it's green. So that means the probability of a continuation of this uptrend remains large, right? It remains large. Right now, after such a powerful sell-off on altcoins, I don't really think there is much any weak hands left in the altcoin market. So order books on sell side should be totally empty. So that promotes growth. That favors growth by a huge degree. Liquidations, as you see, mostly shorts. Last 24 hours, Ethereum is the king. is dethroned. It dethroned Bitcoin in that field, in that competition. Okay, let's take a look at liquidation heat map. How this one has changed since the last time we looked at it. Nothing much has changed. Yeah, we have even more liquidity above all-time high now. If I have to guess high, I'd rather say this is an organic liquidity. Earlier today, when I was live streaming on my Polish live stream, I said this could be spoofing, but after giving it a little bit deeper thought, I come to conclusion that it must be organic. So that would mean, yeah, we are going for it. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the day after tomorrow, but sometime this week, I expect a new all-time high. I will be a little bit surprised if we don't see a new all-time high this week, to be honest. Oh my god, I'm live streaming 42 minutes already. I wasn't really planning to live stream this long. But yeah, apparently I'm in a mood for a little bit longer talks. And let's see how SPYX is doing. This one overall, it's actually not having the worst of. I mean the Sunday wasn't the worst of Sundays. It was actually very good. Saturday, Sunday, as you see, we have recovered greatly. And now upon closing the Sunday daily candle, we're having a little bit of a sell-off. But let's take a look at the weekly. Where is the weekly? It's here. SPYX, if you did not know, it's a tokenized version of SPY, which is a trust fund reflecting S&P 500. So yeah, in this shape, the weekly candle doesn't look bad at all, to be honest. If you disagree with me because it's red, if that's the main reason of your disagreement, then switch off the colors and let me know if you still have literally the same impression. Because the colors here can distort your perspective, and they can introduce bias noise, let's say. So me, I always pay attention to what is the shape of the much more to what is the shape of the candle rather than what is the color of that candle. And judging by shape, it's fine. It's fine. It gives us hope for actually not so bad Monday, whenever the real SPY starts trading. Okay. Let's take a look here. Matteo says, "Bye Binance, welcome Coinbase." Is Coinbase available in Europe? I'm not sure, to be honest. Coinbase is the number two by size, let's say, centralized exchange, but it's like is far behind, far behind Binance. Binance is like 5 times larger than Coinbase, so imagine that. And it used to be much larger. After all of that case with DOJ, all of that story with DOJ, many people actually left Binance, and it shrunk. Because of that, it shrunk. But it was the difference in between number one and number two was much greater. CZ will make us millionaires. All you have to do is like this post, and I will add you on the list. Yeah, this guy. What the hell is he talking about? Is he a scammer? Yeah, probably. Binance has always been a crime syndicate on a scale far larger than FTX ever was. Don't listen to people like that. Justine, Jim Cramer says we're back. Sources, please. Okay, let me see. Because this page oftentimes they joke about Jim Cramer, and this is nothing to joke about because whatever this guy says, okay, this is, we're back. Okay, but you see, but he posted we're back because he's back to some place. I don't know where that is. What's this place? Somewhere in America, I suppose. I do not recognize this. There's palm trees, so it must be somewhere in the south. Okay, so at least he didn't say anything about the market. That would be a bummer. Others even try to make this sound like a bad thing. Please post more of this about Binance, about BNB actually. Interesting how BNB was barely affected at all. Yeah, because it's actually quite a strong market. Castillo turning. It's cool. Coins just went to literal zero on your exchange. Care to comment on that? That's not his exchange anymore, you dummy. Yeah, I I have no words. I have no words. I mean, Gigi has no other choice but to ignore it. Of course, me, I also if there's someone stupid coming to my comment section, I block them immediately. Like it's waste of time. Go and waste somebody else's time. One of the greatest scams I've ever seen in crypto, MYX. What the hell is that? Minus 95% in a dip. MYX. Let me see it. What the hell is that? This one is not on Binance. No, it's not. Mixed finance. Let's say on Bitget. But normal candles. Okay, so this one went like crazy amounts. I mean, how much it went up? 16,000%. Oh my god, that's a lot. In how? I mean, how quick? Where is it here? How long it took it? 40 days? That's crazy. That's crazy. Minus 95%. Okay. Yeah, this is a pump and dump. Pump and dump. So yeah, if you want to have gains like this and you're wondering where the hell can I find a coin that is about to explode like this and highly likely not dump like this one shortly after, I have a very strong opinion opinion about high tech. I think high tech stands in front of at least growth that big, if not greater. Because this is a very small market. This is the only project I promote on all of my social media. All of my social media are growing. all of my communities are growing, and right now there's a huge divergence in between, like, for example, how many subscribers I have on my Polish YouTube channel, how many people follow me here, for example. So that will at some point that will manifest, right? This is a bullish divergence, by the way, because there is very few market participants here. There's many people observing me and my social media, and at some point, a small chunk of them that will decide to throw something in here, and that will start a huge parabolic rally. So just be before everybody else, and that will do the job perfectly fine. The link to the liquidity pool of this meme coin you will find in the description section of this live stream if you watch it on YouTube or Rumble, or just copy paste the CA from my X bio to whatever Solana DEX app. You'll get it. CTO Larson. So many of these stories. All my savings 6 years of DCA got liquidated last night. What? How your DCA got liquidated? I was one of the people who never tried to time the market, was telling others to stay away from leverage as DCA. Yet here I am. Maybe this sad story will contribute to the community. I guess people have different reasons for why they end up using leverage. Yeah, so he was doing DCA for years and then he went on leverage. Yeah. I don't need to be convinced that Bitcoin is here to stay and it will go up. That's why I was all in DCAing. Anything left out of my monthly salary would go into Bitcoin. However, in the last 1 to 2 years, my monthly expenses rose significantly, and I was upset about not being able to buy as much Bitcoin as I could in the past. This is what led me to the idea that I can make up for that period in 1 to 2 leverage trades. It all went downhill from there. Last night I lost everything. As of today, my total net worth is not far away from the salary I will receive for this month. Everything I got was wiped out, and I'm 36 years old already. The realization of my age, how much time it took me to get to the point I was at before touching the leverage. Yeah, bro, that's literally 100% of the time. It goes like that 100% of the time. And it's if you are doing well on leverage, yet let me tell you, it's going to come to an end, just like for this guy. So yeah. So let me wrap it up right here. Share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Throw something at Hightech just in case this one does, I don't know, some 1,000,000% from here. Throw in like $1, $2, one USDT, two USDT. If I'm wrong, you will lose 1 or 2 USDT. If I'm right, you will win a lottery ticket. So, and I'm 100% sure what I say, what I preach here about this project is completely true. So thank you guys for your time, and I see you sometime soon.